Hi guys, it's Jazz1122 here, and I'm here for the reading for the Cancers out there from March 18th through March 24th. I hope all of you are having an amazing day so far. And also, I would like to say a big thank you to those who have subscribed to my channel. And also, I would like to say a thank you to those who even stopped by just to watch my channel for a few seconds. I will always like to say that as a disclaimer, always remember that if this reading does not resonate, maybe my readings will another day. Okay, so let's see what's going on for the Cancers out there. Let me just move this a little bit. There we go. Cause I didn't want it to be shaken consistently. I don't like that. Okay. First off, we have the Six of Cups here. So I feel for this week, you guys are really looking back into your past. You could be thinking about your childhood a lot. I think you could be thinking about the innocence you once had before life came and hit you. You know, you being an adult, and then it's like, it seems like your dreams aren't going to come true. But as a child, they always told us, like, well, they say sky's the limit, but this is really no limits, But it was just the aspiration of you can do whatever you want to do. And I feel that as an adult, we kind of lose that in ourselves because then we go in the world and people tell us our dreams are unrealistic and that we won't do that. But as a kid, we was told we could do anything. So I feel that you guys are tapping back into your inner child to get that creativity. Kind of like, when you was a child and you would fall down, you wouldn't let that ruin your day. You wouldn't let that, even though you had a big scab on, your knee. For me, even, I was a very clumsy child. I still have the scars even to this day. But it's just that ability to pick up and move forward. I think that's what you're looking at. It's like, how did I get to this spot? Like, I need to channel my inner child so I have that playfulness back into my life. And I feel that's what you're trying to tap into. It's like that innocence, that purity, that before all the traumatic things start happening, to get the mindset like of a child. Like, in a way, it's like every day is a new day. Like, it's no need to harbor the pains of yesterday, that type of energy. And we have the Three of Cups. I feel that you guys, after doing this, I feel that that's a celebration for you. I feel that you find something very valuable in your childhood. It's like, wow, I need to bring that back into my life. I need to not let the things that happen in my adult life completely hold me back to the point that I'm not living life. As a child, I didn't let that happen. So why am I letting it happen as an adult? I know I deserve happiness and abundance, but I know that along the way as me being an adult, I took on a lot of trauma, but I'm ready to let that go. And maybe my childhood has a clue on how. It's the outlook of it, and that's the celebration. Also, I could see you also wanting to spend time with people closest to you too. It's a lot of cups. It's a lot of emotions. You're looking for something deep right now, where it's like being around people that could remind you of your childhood. You know what I'm saying? Playful people that they could be adults, but you be around them. It's like you could be a big kid. Those are good things to still incorporate in adult life. Like, it's good to know how to pay bills, stabilize yourself, and everything like that. But it's also important that you also find time for you and your own emotional happiness in the midst of those things. Like, we was never supposed to sacrifice, our whole life to be stable. You know what I'm saying? It's to learn how to incorporate who you are in that stability, so that way it's always abundant. Because you are, for example, if you have your own business, right, and you do your own things like paintings, or you do readings, it's kind of like that's not a job. It's something that you love, so it's like a bonus. And then that's a bonus because you get abundance from that, and you get stability from that. So that's what I feel you're really trying to channel into, and be around people who can help bring that out of you, bring happiness to you, and celebrations. It could also be getting together with childhood friends as well. I could see that here too, because Mercury is still retrograding as well. So it could bring some childhood friends that you had or people from your teens, that you guys kind of separated and then you come together. It's just like that vibe is like, wow, you know what I'm saying? So that's really a nice energy to really be in. I feel a very peaceful energy with that. And we have the Six of Wands. You guys are feeling victorious this week. I feel that you going through your childhood has helped actually clear a lot. I feel also not only you looking at the optimistic side of your childhood, but also looking at what happened and then looking back at it to heal your inner child as well. I see both going on. It's like, you know what? As a child, I couldn't do anything. I can't harbor the pain towards my parents or the reason why my mom wasn't there or my dad wasn't there or whoever wasn't there. I'm ready to let that go, and I'm ready to go into the world with a child's eye, like view in a way. It's like I want to be out in the world to be who I truly am, to be happy, to be abundant, and that's what's a victory to you. I feel you guys have been clearing a lot of those wounds that's been going on, so that way you can move forward when Aries season comes, which is this week. Let's see here. And we have this strength. I feel that sometimes going in our childhood, it does take a lot of strength. It's easier for us just not to remember or try not to think about it. But because you guys are really trying to figure out how to be better individuals, like spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, all of those things, that takes a lot of strength for someone, and also it takes responsibility. I feel that you guys are ready to take that responsibility over yourselves and let go of that regret that you may have from people of the past and move forward into a new life. Okay, so I'm going to go into clarifiers. Okay, so let's see why the Six of Cups is here. We have the Queen of Pentacles. And we have the Nine of Rods. So what I see here is you are finding abundance in the struggles that you had to go through in your childhood. As I was saying, you're not only going back to look at how you used to look at life, but also going through the things that were not so great, the negative situations, the traumatic situations, the wounds you have. But through those wounds, you're not trying to, you guys are planning on, how can I monetize that? How can I use that pain and put it into passion and purpose? So I feel like you're looking at your life was, okay, I know I went through some things, but at the same time, it has to have a purpose. Maybe all those things happened to me to get to the point that I am today. Those things that happened to me caused me to mature and see life in a deeper way. So when I do get the abundance, I don't take it for granted because I know when I was hurt. So it's like he has a lot of rods, but at the same time, he still was ready to meet opposition. And because you guys have fought so hard for your healing and really going through those transformations you need to, now you can monetize that in a way that's creative, that's nurturing. And as I say in my videos, the Queen of Pentacles to me is the Cancer and Capricorn put together. So is you using your Cancer qualities, but now building off that, building a foundation, building stability, knowing your worth, not holding on to the past, not holding on to people that no longer serves you, or you allowing people to talk to you any kind of way just because you care about them. You are going after people. Well, you're not even going after nobody. You are doing you, but however, you are mindful of who is around you, and you know your worth because she's a queen. No queens entertain peasants. No queen is going to allow someone to talk to her any type of way or tell her, oh, I'm tired of this, or this and this, or you ain't nothing, and this and this. A queen knows her worth and say, you know what? I'm going to move out the way because I'm not going to deal with you hurting me. And maybe that's what you learn from your relationships, your younger relationships, how you have allowed people to treat you any kind of way. And now that you're coming across, it's like, you know what? It may hurt to let those things go. But best believe I'm a queen and I'm going to do it. I'm not going to allow anyone to hold me back again as I did in my past. So let's see why the Three of Cups is here. And that's definitely a celebration, finding your worth. And we have the Justice card here. So because you're making this balance, by you walking away, like I was saying, from those things that don't serve you, the universe is ready to bring in people who you can celebrate with. So yes, it may be hurtful to walk away from some people that you may love, but however, you have to remember your worth at the end of the day, and that the universe will only deliver what you feel you are worth. You cannot want a healthy relationship if you're with someone that's toxic. It's not going to work. If you try to make that person change, or because they had this background or this happened to them, listen. Those people wounds are not your issues. So, because with cancers, they're so caring, and they take everybody else's pain, and then they feel like they deserve that treatment. And I'm here to tell y'all, everybody goes through things. Everybody has went through something traumatic in some way, shape, or form. But does that give them a right to talk to you the way they talk to you? Does that give them a right to not appreciate you? Does that give them a right to belittle who you are and then use the excuse, oh, well, I had a hard life and this and this? No, 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 no. That's not a person trying to make a change. That's a person looking for pity. That's a person waiting for someone to accept them as they are. Now, what I mean by that is not as they are, but in the way of their toxicity. Yeah, just accept me talking to you like this, oh, because my dad wasn't there, or oh, just accept me beating the crap out of you because I don't know this or I don't know that. With cancers, they'll take that and be like, well, I know you had a child, I know you had this, and I know you had that. But cancers, you guys, the thing is, you guys are so powerful and you guys are so loving. But now it's time, because the universe is saying, or the universe is going to start cutting people out for you. To be honest, this is what I see here too. For the cancers that are still around people that do not appreciate them, they will be leaving your life at some point. I'm just saying right now. Because if you don't make the decision, and if I'm saying this and there's a person that comes to your mind 9 times out of 10, this is exactly who it is. If you have anyone around you, if you're not strong enough to cut them off, the universe will cut them out for you and make you walk away. Because the universe wants you to be happy. And the universe knows that you guys have such great hearts that you guys would just suffer because of someone else's pain. But where does that get you? But isn't that what happened before? Where you, in the past, where you took on people's wounds and fought battles for them? But where did that leave you? So it's time to start thinking about yourself. And start thinking about your own abundance. And start treating yourself like a queen. Or a king. Okay, so let's see why the Six of Wands is here. That's one thing I had to learn as a Cancer South Node. I'm just going to say this. That was my biggest thing. If someone went through things in life, I'd be right there. They talk to me any kind of way, talk to me crazy, and then they'd be like, oh, I'm sorry. But then next week, they talk to me crazy, and then they'd be like, I'm sorry. No, no, no. Don't. Apology is changed behavior. So if someone keeps saying sorry, but they're not changing, it's because they know that you would just believe their words and not their actions. And that's what I learned. I have compassion for people, what they go through. But if you think you about to talk to me any kind of way, if you think I'm just supposed to put up with you because of that, and I had wounds and I've gotten hurt and I still found ways to better myself, I don't think so. And maybe that's the point you're coming to. Like, shoot, I went through things too. Is that an excuse to do that? No, it's not. So let's see why the Six of Rods is here. Wands. Because this is Wands and then this one is Rods. But we have the Nine of Swords reverse. So I feel as Mercury's wrapping up, I feel some things are going to start to take place. Like, if there's still certain things that need clearing, they're still going to happen after the Mercury retrograde. Like, even though these retrogrades may be done, that's time to go forward. So, also with Uranus changing signs, that has to do with self-worth, because he's in Taurus, money, all those things. It could be unexpected events that, whoop, cause you to walk away. You be like, Dad, what happened? I thought we was, but the universe is like, no, Cancer. It's time for you to be with people who nurture you. It's time to stop being everybody's absorber of pain and free your own self. Think about you. You know, that's the victory about it. The universe is saying, what do you want, Cancer? The world is way much bigger than what you see. You are so much stronger than what you give yourself credit for. I know there may be situations you don't want to walk away from because you have feelings for this person or that was your friend for 10 years and this and that. But those could be the same things that hinder you. And the universe is not going to allow that. If you be mad for a certain time, the universe is like, you know what? You be all right. Because in time, you're going to see why I did this. And you're going to see why this was best for you. Because you do not see the whole plan of what I have for you or what you have for yourself before you came here. So let's also do another clarifier. The Wheel of Fortune. So you can go into a new karmatic cycle. And as I was saying, the universe is going to crank those people that's not for you out your life. So if you start seeing situations happen where things get rocky with certain people or you can't maintain it, that's the universe cranking that wheel. Because there's people, look at how this man's foot is holding her back. So how can they fully enjoy the moment? So that's what the universe is doing. There are people behind the scenes that's holding you back, Cancer, and honestly, it could be people you love the most that hold you back. And that'd be the craziest part, because it really do be like that. The most people that do hold us back is people we know the most. Ain't that crazy? In the same way, a stranger can know your worth more than the person that you've been in a relationship for years with. And this is facts for me. Because I went through a few relationships where I struggled for someone to see my worth, where I struggled for them to talk to me like they had some sense, where I struggled. But with the partner I'm with now, he recognized that in day one, yo. Day one. Do we have arguments? Yeah, but they're not like that. We act like civilized human beings. We don't say hurtful things to each other because we have a respect. We have a maturity to know that even though we are in our emotions, to not let our emotions overrun us and say things we don't mean. You know what I'm saying? It's like, say what you mean and mean what you say. Because if you talking like how I take it, if you're telling me that you don't want to be with me, or you taking it as you tired of this, or you don't want to do this, I'm going to leave you alone. I ain't going to sit here and try to convince you. And you'd be like, oh, I didn't mean it. Well, say what you mean and mean what you say then. Because I'm not going to sit here and entertain somebody that's like all over the place. 1 minute you want me, next minute you don't. 1 minute you want me, next minute you don't. 1 minute, no. That's not the way to live. Nah, get that out of here. And that's what the universe is doing, getting it out of here to free you, because you could be tied to a situation that you do not have the strength to free yourself. But let me tell you, it's going to happen anyway, because you got the justice here. I'm not justice. Justice is over here in the Wheel of Fortune. Now, I think of justice, for me, I think of Saturn, because that also has to do with karma. You know what I'm saying? Because you guys have such deep hearts and you care about people, it's like, yo, we got to clear these people out for you. And also, we have Jupiter here, and Jupiter is in Sagittarius. So Jupiter is going to start sharing some truth to you about some people. And at the same time, it's only to get you to your new cycle that's waiting for you. So it's all for your good. So let's see why the Strength card, we have the Three of Cups. It's all for your good, so you can be around people who support you, Cancer. Because people who truly love you are not going to do that to you. People who truly love you are not going to wound you to this extent to feel that it's always an uphill battle. Or people are not going to cause you so much stress and anxiety if they care about you. If they really cared about you, then you wouldn't have anxiety. Like you wouldn't be anxious. You wouldn't be hurt. You wouldn't be any of these things. You know what I'm saying? And I speak, like I say for myself, with Cancer South Node. Like, that's why I connect with Cancers, because I've been there. Like, literally in my past life. Like, I've been this energy. And my Capricorn North Node taught me how to have authority in myself. And I don't take that back for a second. Like, I used to look at dating as like, oh my gosh, well, what if this person, they finally showed me attention. And I used to take any relationship from anybody who showed me attention. That's how low my self-esteem was. But as I got older, and as Saturn started to come through the Saturn return, especially when he hit my 5th house, when he was a Sagittarius, that really caused me to grow up, to really analyze, like, what are you doing, Jazz? Why are you with these people? Like, you are lowering your own worth. Like, that's not their fault that they treat you like that. It's time for you to take responsibility. And that's the type of person I am ever since that was like 2014, 15, that I have kept that with me. And I tell people, I'm not going to be your yes man. I'm going to say things you don't want to hear. I'm a Sagittarius on top of that. I'm going to tell you the truth. And because I tell you these truths, because these are the same truths I analyze in myself. I don't say this just because it sounds good. I had to say this to myself. I had to take responsibility for myself. But that shows how I did that because my relationships changed. I don't go through that. I mean, me and my partner argue here and there. But am I stressing for the most part? No, I'm chilling. You know, he does his thing, I do my thing. It's peaceful. And that's what happens. So if that's not your situation, it could be relationships, friends, or whatever, then you need to analyze who you got around you. Or it could be people around you watching you go through this and tried to tell you, but you also didn't want to listen. See, that's another thing as a Cancer. I speak for myself as a Cancer South Node, like I said. People honestly tried to tell me, but I didn't want to listen because I always made excuses. But I had to realize I was making excuses for these people who caused me so much pain. And I had to know my own worth, which was hard. That was hard to do. But however, I'm glad that I did it. So I encourage everyone to take responsibility. It's not about whose fault. That's why I don't like using fault. I like using responsibility. It changes the blame so you don't feel like you effed up or anything like that. It's all about learning. But you also have to be more aware of how you treat yourself because whoever you're around is a reflection of you. So if they're talking to you all types of ways and treating you all types of any way they choose, then that means that there's something in you that you need to check. Are you checking in with yourself? Because you wouldn't even allow this person to do you like that if you was. If you had self-love, you wouldn't even be dealing with this type of person, and it shows. And that was the hardest thing. How I'm going to say I love myself, but I got people around me who treat me any kind of way, but I say I love myself. Like, I had to do that reality check and say, no, I don't love myself. Because if I love myself, I would never succumb to this kind of treatment. And I think that's what you're realizing. It's like, you know what? And the transformation is taking place with the death card here. It's so beautiful because the white rose is purity. I feel that through these situations of you walking away and letting go and getting to where you need to be is ultimately so you can be the best you can be, Cancer. So I hope you guys appreciate this reading, and I'll catch you guys next week.